question is on the reconciliation and national unity. What did the Tutsi victims say to you when you put the killers back living together with the victims? Did they really believe in it? And as a leader of a country, how did you do it so fast? And how did you foster like teamwork in order to achieve all this? From my country, we the same ethnic group, and to get people to work together as a team is very hard. And after what happened, I mean, how did you get the two people to come together? I mean, it sounded easy, but I'm sure it wasn't.
It's a very good question and very complicated one too. Very difficult. But in our case, again, I think there are a combination of factors. One is, I also believe Rwandans have learned the hard way. They've learned a bitter lesson from what has happened to us. I think it doesn't matter where people come from in Rwanda, everyone has learned a lesson. That's for sure. Even the ones who killed, if they thought it was beneficial or anything, they never benefited. Of course, obviously, the victims, it speaks for itself. So that's one. The second was the change that took place and the new political dispensation that came in and is there today was there for a purpose also. It wasn't just, there are people who wanted transformation to take place in our country, whether political, social, economic, and so on. So people are there. And the third is the way to communicate, the way to make sure that, and not only communication, you may communicate verbally, but there are other ways of communication, meaning what underlied these injustices must be attended to, must be addressed. If there was discrimination, where students, or I mean young people of so and so, because of their background, could not access school, and then you make sure everybody accesses school, education. If people are not employed because they come from this part of the country or from this section of the population, and so, you just make sure that that doesn't repeat itself. And people must be able to see it and live it and be part of it. So a combination of all this, and then the way we every day, I think Professor Potter said it earlier, communicating with the people. You go to people, you know, I have had opportunity all the time. I go to every district, every sector, every, you know, the remotest part of our country. I sit with thousands, tens of thousands of people. We spend 5 hours, and we are just having a conversation. What's your problem? And then they also, to an extent, hold me accountable and say, President, you're not doing this for us. We want this done. I explain. And, you know, through that, we all own the problem. And together we find a solution. We don't have a situation where by the end one is accusing the other of this or of that. No, we become part of like a family, and we are sharing it. So this has helped a lot. The conversation, the communication, you know, the very lessons, and we refer to them. We refer to those problems of our past. We discuss them openly. People have even come up to accept responsibility for different things, and even asked for forgiveness and so on and so forth. And you know, it's so the victims of, obviously it takes time, and you can understand it. Even we think sometimes you know, we've made more progress than we expected to make. The way the victims have also become part of the solution, rather than continuing to be caught up in their, you know, their tragic history and lives they have lived, they've come forward and so it's amazing. Yes, sometimes you see it at play in the population and how people are responsive and how they come forward to find solutions.
Okay, we have time for one very quick question, and then actually the President has agreed that we will all do a picture together. All of us. So I'm going to orchestrate that, but while I'm orchestrating, we'll do one more question from